a heartfelt tribute to the late Dr. Jagdish Khan to world unity and global citizenship. Conference of the Chief Justices of the world, a unique moral voice on the world stage. His belief in the idea that the world is a family and humanity must develop and India's National Education Policy 2020 into its educational framework, championing a values-based and globally conscious model of learning. She is currently an emeritus professor at University College London and has previously served and the University of Oxford, later becoming a tenured professor of economics of education at University College London.
Distinguished dignitaries on the dais, Honorable Speaker of Indian Parliament, Shri Om Birla ji, who presides over the Parliament of largest democracy on earth, Professor Geeta Gandhi ji from CITI Montessori School. I am also the alumni of that school. All other distinguished guests came here from different part of the world. And here Shri N.K. Singh ji and other respected guests present in this house. Today, I would like to welcome you, the country which is not just the biggest democracy on earth, but at present, in terms of population, the largest country on earth. And not only this, which is the youngest country on earth. And not only this, which is the oldest surviving civilization on earth. And also, at present, we are the fastest growing economy among all major economies on earth. And we are the oldest civilization, but you know that among the most advanced, technologically advanced platform of digital transaction, India is number one in the digital transaction in the world, and it's not just number one. We are contributing 48% of the digital transaction, which accounts more if you put America and China together. That shows how the country is changing. Now look how the world is changing. As Geeta Gandhi ji was saying, that at present we are living in an era, so we should have a feeling of one family. And I would also like to point out the motto of this institution, Jai Jagat. You know what is the meaning of Jai? There are two concepts in India, Jai and Vijay. Vijay means you have to conquer anybody, there is one opponent. So that symbolizes the victory. Victory against any opponent. But Jai doesn't mean any opponent. It is omnipresent, omni-acceptable, and it is for everybody. So that is the fundamental difference of the thought process of the institution, even after the fall of USSR. When the bipolar world has converted into unipolar world. And it was thought that the open economy, free democracy, market-based consumerism has finally decided the future course of earth once and for all. There was an American thinker who is of Japanese origin. His name was Francis Fukuyama. In 1992, he has written a very famous book. The name of the book was End of the History and the Last Man. And you know what was mentioned there? It was mentioned in that book that West has proven that it is the best. Now it is best for the rest to follow the West. But now today, if you look, on 1st January 1995, WTO was formed. Now we are in just 30 years, 2025. And whatever the policies US is adopting, the world entire economic structure has started changing. Though some people may think that it is a comparatively bigger statement, but definitely the world is going into a direction that I can say that WTO was established in 1995. Whatever is happening in the world in 2025, it is beginning of the end of globalization. Because most of the countries are now looking for free trade agreements, mutual free trade agreements. And this is not happening suddenly. If you have some of the people might have knowing or might not be knowing, in 2017, European Union think tank has given a thought that by 2035, the entire world may start almost converting into a multipolar world. In this June or July 2025, there is a study undertaken by around 15 think tanks of the various countries. Look how the world is changing. It is just, if you're looking at the short span of 10-20 years, but I would like to say, look at the broader span of a few centuries. Colonization lasted for 150 to 200 years. From around 18th century till the beginning of the 20th century, by the middle of 20th century. Then came communism, which lasted for 70 years. That started in Russia in 1917, and by 1991, it starts falling. Then Cold War era, which started after Second World War, it lasted for less than 50 years. Now, the globalization is having a question mark about its future in around 30 years. So we have to look. Sometime the think tanks or the governments of the world, whatever they decide, they cannot decide that in which direction that thing will go. I don't think that the WTO was designed to make China and India an economic superpower. It was mainly decided that the Europe and American companies will get a bigger market and their economy will thrive. But ultimately what happens? Man proposes, God disposes. And the thing has started changing. And now the result is, as I was mentioning at the time of 1991-92, can anybody on this earth in its wildest imagination has thought that China can threaten US? But it is the reality today. During our childhood, it was beyond imagination that United Kingdom, Britain, will be interested in free trade agreement with India. And they will be more interested than the interest of the Indians. And you have seen just a couple of months back, when UK Prime Minister has came to India, he said he is coming with the biggest business delegation ever taken by British government abroad. And they have come to India. So that's how the things change in 30 years. But one more thing I would like to say. India was considered as a country in which people are less educated, less tech savvy, but now India is considered one of the powerhouses of IT. You have seen just few months back, Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi co-chaired with French President the AI Summit in Paris. So I just want to say, whenever the things starts, you have to look analysis into a subtle form rather than in an objective form. I would just like to give one thought. I'm not saying that this is correct. You can say this is a over mental exercise also. When 9/11 happened, World Trade Center was the tallest building on earth. Entire world is at the verge of conflict, whether it is the Russia-Ukraine or the conflict between China and Taiwan or the Israel and Hamas or in Somalia or whatever in the news, whether it will come or not, Venezuela and US and whatever it is. And now the France and Poland are saying that they can have some prepared for any aggression from Russia. So entire world is sitting on that aspect that I want my right. And in that contrast, if the solution can be there by coming together, sitting together, and having space for everybody else. And lastly, I would like to say that this situation or this solution comes from India can make a very significant role in providing solution because we are the only major country in the world in the entire history which never went for invasion. And we are the only country in the world whose culture has no concept of conversion. So there was no motivation for invasion. And if I ask you, name a single country in the world on which all the religions of earth are there, it is only India. Zoroastrians who have vanished from their homeland Iran, they are flourishing in India. One of the prominent industries are there. After the formation of Israel, they have documented a history about the atrocities on Jews. And it was only India whose Jews have written that forget about subjugation or atrocities. We never faced any discrimination in India on part of being a Jew. And you know, there are 72 sects of Islam. If there is only one country which is having all sects of Islam, it's not any of the 57 Muslim countries. It is only India. So I'm not talking about just a philosophical, ideological, conceptual thought. I am talking about the ground reality. Even in the diplomatic level, under the leadership of our Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, you have seen, we are the only country which is the member of BRICS also, which is the member of Quad also. So, just I would like to say, if the world is changing, and also if you look on the entire eastern part of the globe, from Eastern Europe to Japan, there are only 3 democracies, Japan, Australia and India, which are consistent, vibrant, continuous, pure democracy. If you consider Australia as an extension of Europe, and Japan is also having the constitutional monarchy, so in the entire eastern globe, India is the only consistent, absolute, pure and vibrant democracy. So I just want to say that all, and I'm not saying that it's only in India, it was in so many great civilizations of the world, whether it's the Mayan civilization, Aztec civilization, Inca civilization of the US, Greece civilization, Chinese civilization, but unfortunately all civilization has got destroyed and became confined to the books of history, and we remain still a living civilization as it was. So I just want to say that we are sitting at a very crucial time of the world. It is for us to decide that we are on the cusp of a golden age or we are at the threshold of a very precarious time. If we take a proper, positive, constructive step ahead, which has been the hallmark of several great civilizations of the world, then definitely we are heading towards a golden age. Otherwise, what will happen? The nature will take care of itself. So lastly, I would like to say that and one more thing I would like to add, Shri Om Birla ji is Speaker of Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha is considered the parliament, the main parliament, lower house. But has come from our ancient Vedic texts. No other parliament in the entire world you have seen which is carrying the same name as it would have been 5,000 or 10,000 years old back. So, finally, I would like to say, we are sitting at a very significant time. All of the world should come together and we should work together to make a world, a new 21st century world order in which there should be equitability to all. Nobody should try to grab other resources. Nobody should try to dominate other by military. And there is no need of converting any other on the issue of cultural supremacy or others. So, would like to conclude with a very famous poem of our former Prime Minister, Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee. He has said that even in the darkest hour of world, we always try to give a light. It is poem in Hindi, which means that all the great civilizations have disappeared and they have gone dipped into the darkness, but then the light has come from India. There is a word, दुनिया का इतिहास पूछता रोम कहाँ यूनान कहाँ है. दुनिया का इतिहास पूछता रोम कहाँ यूनान कहाँ है. घर घर में शुभ अग्नि जगाता वो उन्नत ईरान कहाँ है. दीप बुझे पश्चिमी जगत के छाया जब बर्बर अंधियारा, तभी चीर कर तम की छाती चमका हिंदुस्तान हमारा. So last, we'll conclude with one more sentence. Woods are lonely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep. Miles to go before I sleep. Thank you.
मैं सिटी मॉन्टेसरी स्कूल की मैनेजर हूँ. लखनऊ में है ये स्कूल और हमारा स्कूल गिनेस बुक ऑफ वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड्स के अनुसार विश्व का सबसे बड़ा स्कूल है किसी भी एक शहर के अंदर. और हमारे पास 64,500 बच्चे हैं.
मैडम, आज दिल्ली के अंदर जो कॉन्फ्रेंस रखी गई उसका उद्देश्य क्या था और कितने लोग यहाँ पर
यहाँ पर हमारे करीब 160 न्यायाधीश हैं विश्व के 52 देशों से यहाँ पर पधारे हैं. और यहाँ पर आज श्री बिरला जी आए थे और श्री सिद्धांत त्रिवेदी जी बहुत ही अच्छा बोले. और बेसिकली क्या है कि विश्व की जो व्यवस्था है, विश्व में जो बहुत विषम परिस्थितियाँ हैं उनका निदान क्या है, इस पे विचार विमर्श करने के लिए हमारा स्कूल ये कॉन्फ्रेंस पिछले 26 वर्षों से ऑर्गेनाइज कर रहा है. और अगर आप देखें कि अगर आइडियाज़ पूछे जाएं कि विश्व के जो प्रॉब्लम्स है उसको इफेक्टिव तरीके से उनका समाधान करने के लिए क्या कौन कौन से हमारे पास पॉलिसीज़ हैं, क्या क्या आइडियाज़ हैं, क्या क्या विचार हैं, तो उसमें सबसे बड़ा विचार जो आता है सामने वो ये है कि संयुक्त राष्ट्र संघ का जो चार्टर है उसका रिफॉर्म हो, उसका रिव्यू हो. उसका जो आर्टिकल 109 है उसमें ये प्रावधानित किया गया है कि रिव्यू किया जा सकता है इस चार्टर. लेकिन अब 80 साल हो गए, 10 साल के बाद किया जा सकता था, यानी कि 1955 में किया जा सकता था. लेकिन अब 80 साल हो गए, अभी तक एक बार उसका रिव्यू नहीं हुआ है. तो विश्व की व्यवस्था जो है उसको सुंदर बनाने के लिए, आज की परिस्थितियों के अनुकूल बनाने के लिए किस तरीके से वो बनाई जाए, इस बात पर विचार विमर्श करने के लिए इस कॉन्फ्रेंस को आयोजित किया गया.
आज जो चर्चा चल रही है, इस चर्चा को लेके हमारे यहाँ देखा गया है कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया अनुच्छेद 51 की भी बात चल रही है, तो उसके विषय में आप क्या कहेंगे?
अनुच्छेद 51 जो है वो हमारे संविधान का एक वो वाला हिस्सा है जिसमें ये वर्णित है कि हमारा गणराज्य, भारत का गणराज्य जो है उसके और देशों से जो उसके रिलेशंस होंगे वो किस तरीके से, वो किस तरीके के ईथॉस से, किस तरीके की मूल्यों से वो गवर्न होंगे. तो उसमें ये लिखा है, बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ें लिखी हैं. द स्टेट शैल एंडेवर टू प्रमोट इंटरनेशनल पीस एंड सिक्योरिटी, टू मेंटेन जस्ट एंड ऑनरेबल रिलेशंस बिटवीन नेशंस, to foster respect for international law and to encourage the settlement of international disputes through arbitration. तो मध्यस्थता के माध्यम से जो है वो जो डिस्प्यूट्स हैं एक देश के दूसरे देश से, जो कोई अगर वैमनस्य है या कोई लड़ाई है तो उसके लिए क्या विवाद है तो उसका निदान जो है वो मध्यस्थता के माध्यम से करना बजाय इसके लड़ाई के माध्यम से. तो भारत का गणराज्य इन वैल्यूज़ से प्रेरित करता है कि हमारा देश जो इस तरीके से करेगा. लेकिन इसमें एक बहुत बड़ा इंस्पिरेशन है. पूरी दुनिया का जो विश्व समाज है वो इन मूल्यों पे अगर चल सके तो वो भी बहुत बड़ा लाभान्वित होगा. इसीलिए हम आर्टिकल 51 के ऊपर ही इसको आधारित करते हैं.
ठीक है, थैंक यू.